on one of her shows that Oprah surprised her on Skype and said, "You get to be on the cover." And Ellen was so excited. I get to be on the cover.
I would cry a little bit if I watched that episode.
Yeah, she did. And so she was on the cover with Oprah December 2009. But there's so much more about her. The reason why I love her so much is she is the embodiment of authenticity. She is who she is, and she was the very first, of course she's an activist for the gay community, but also for animals and children, and she was the very first lead gay character on TV ever,
right?
Her sitcom Ellen, where she owned the bookstore. She told Shape magazine in an interview, "When I first came to Hollywood, my whole motivation was to be loved and appreciated, which is the stupidest thing in the world."
Especially in Hollywood.
It's true. Yeah, and when you're doing things to try and get people to like you, of course, you don't do as well. I know when I'm writing, wanting people to read as opposed to just writing because I want to write.
Right.
It's very different. And she said, I want people to like me, but not at my expense. So it's the whole idea of being authentic, of being who she is, and loving who she is. She's a class act all the way. She gets criticized, of course. She handles it very well. She handled the J.C. Penney, the million women thing against that. She handled that very well. But what I love absolutely most about her is, as funny as she is, as entertaining as she is, everything that she's involved in, her most important thing is being kind. And so this is something that she said is the most important thing for me is to know I represent kindness. I want to be an example. I'm glad I'm funny. I'm glad I make people happy because that's very important, but I'm proud to be known as a kind person. You listen to any monologue on late night TV or just in general to people talking, and there's always a joke at someone's expense. It's sarcasm and it's nasty. She likes the idea that you can be funny without hurting someone's feelings, and I believe very strongly in that. And I think it was interesting coming across this quote because I had posted something to that effect just this week on Facebook. I'll never find it funny if it's making fun of somebody else.
I saw that, yes.
I just won't. So every now and then people will send me like these horrible videos where it's, pranking somebody, but mean, cruel, pranking, and I don't even respond. I'm like, that's not funny. That's lazy. In my opinion, that is lazy. And so I love her.
That's awesome.
And I love that some people think I'm a straight version of her. So that
nice. Is huge. You're Oprah and Ellen all in this podcast.
Wow. And I know, and I'll go home and put my sweatpants on and let it all hang out. You're going to become
way too big for this podcast. Please don't forget us.
I won't. I'm lazy.
That's awesome.
That's what holds me back.
I told Steve we're going to have to turn this into a video podcast eventually.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
And we'll dance.
We'll dance in and we'll dance out.
We're dancing now. Too bad they can't see us. Yes. Chair dancing. Like in my car.
Kind of dancing, yes.
I'll be driving from Parker soon if you want to see me dance in my car.
Right. Now playing. So you're not a television fan. You just said that, and I was worried about that.
No, that's actually not true. I love TV. I do. I love TV shows. I'm not current.
Okay.
And that's just because, I don't have cable TV. I have a smart TV, so I have Netflix and I have Prime. Mm-hmm. So you can catch a lot of shows. Under the Dome is free on Prime. So I do too. I'm going to read the book and just see if it matches up. So I love the idea too. I discovered on Netflix or on Prime, you can follow a whole series, like all the way to the end, and you don't have to worry about what happened last week. I don't remember.
Right.
So I do like TV. I just don't watch current TV, and there's some shows I would actually like to watch if I could figure out how to watch it, short of going to buy an HD.
You have a computer.
I do. But that means pulling it out.
Oh.
I have actually watched some things on ABC on my phone.
I was going to say, like, a lot of, like, NBC, ABC,
right.
CBS, they all have apps.
TBS, yeah.
Yeah. And so a lot of these shows that I'm going to talk about are on NBC.
Okay. So right. I will do the app and I will check them out.
So fall time, that means new TV time outside of our new boots and our new pumpkin spice lattes. What? You look concerned.
There's another piece to the TV, too. I need to see if they're going to last before I watch them.
I know. I did that last year.
My friend Beth, another friend told me to watch Black Box, and it doesn't look like it's coming back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming back.
A lot of my shows got canceled last year.
Yeah, my friend Beth, she told me to watch Torchwood, and she watched all the way through. And I hope, Beth, you are listening to this.
Come on, Beth.
I know. She watched Torchwood all the way through. She knows that it canceled with a cliffhanger, and that was it. And
rude.
It was done. And I was so mad, and I don't think I talked to her for like 2 days.
You know what show got canceled recently that I'm so sad? So sad. So sad.
But
Dallas.
Oh, I've never watched that.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I haven't.
Dang it. Someone out there is listening.
I mean, if it goes,
I agree with you, lady.
If it goes to Netflix, then I will watch it because I get really
Dallas.
Maybe
it's like JR was in it until he died, and then they killed off his character, which made it even sadder.
You know what? My very best friend in like elementary school or junior high school, she loved
Back in the day.
We didn't have DVR then. I'm
You had to actually catch it.
Yeah, and she would like just stop what we were doing and go home and watch. I gotta watch Dallas. Okay, and you couldn't even say then. We'll tape it or
Right.
Watch it on Netflix. Go watch it online.
So they brought Dallas back, and now they're canceling it. FTNT.
See, I didn't know they were bringing it back.
They need to find another home for it because it was amazing. So many of my friends watched it, so I don't understand why it's getting canceled. But anyway, let's focus on the new stuff. The new stuff. It's not canceled so far.
New is good.
Okay. Some of these, I've started watching them, and some of them I put on my list. So the first one is A to Z. It is a romantic comedy, which you put romantic comedy in front of anything, I'm going to be sucked in. There aren't enough romantic comedy movies anymore. Have you noticed that? They're all serious and scary and shoot people and...
I think I'm still catching up from the 90s.
Okay. Anyway, so it's a romantic comedy that chronicles a relationship from beginning to end, a la 500 Days of Summer. Mad Men, which I don't watch that, but one of its characters, Ben Feldman, stars as Andrew, a true believer in destiny and romance, while ever-charming Kristen Milioti plays the object of his affection. And she was actually the girl in How I Met Your Mother that Ted ended up marrying.
That died?
No, that they divorced, and then he ended up with Robin.
She died.
Did she die?
She died.
I thought she just divorced.
No,
she
sure? died. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know. I hated the ending.
So
that was one of the greatest shows, and then the ending.
So it premiered last week on October 2nd, but I'm sure you can get on the app NBC and watch that pilot episode, and it's going to continue on Thursday nights and hopefully not get canceled.
Okay.
Yeah. So A to Z. And then the second one is The Affair, told from alternating male and female perspectives. The Affair examines the emotional and psychological effects of infidelity in 2 different marriages. Set in the Hamptons, of course. Where else would you set that? The series stars Dominic West from The Wire and Ruth Wilson from Luther as the cheaters, and Mara Tierney from ER and Joshua Jackson. It says from Fringe, but he's from Dawson's Creek.
Fringe is the greatest show ever.
I never watched that.
This is the greatest show. That
Joshua
is X-Files on
will
crack.
Always be from Dawson's Creek for me.
Yeah, to me, he will be from Fringe, which was X-Files on crack, and I think the greatest show.
And he plays the second Chidi. And that's going to be on October 12th on Showtime. Can you get Showtime on your phone? I don't know.
Think so. No.
But I bet it'll be on Netflix eventually, if it lasts.
Yeah.
The third one, Bad Judge. And the only reason I watched this is because it stars Kate Walsh. She's from Private Practice, the redhead, the Cadillac commercials.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Okay. She is adorable in this show. She was also on Fargo, the television show. She plays Rebecca Wright, one of LA's most respected criminal court judges. And I guess this is an overused plot line. She's got her work life together, but her personal life is a mess.
Overused as it may be, it is so common.
Real.
I cannot tell you how many professional, intelligent women I know who are total screw-ups outside of that.
Right. They sleep around. They get smashed on a Wednesday night.
Exactly.
And show up to work hungover on Thursday.
Exactly.
I can't do that.
And
but
so confused about men and, yeah.
And so that's what Kate Walsh plays. It's on NBC. It started on October 2nd. Again, you can probably catch up, and it's going to be on Thursdays.
That sounds interesting.
I know. NBC is like winning it for me this fall. Including this next one that hasn't premiered yet. So set your DVR. It's called Marry Me. Did you watch Happy Endings? No. I can see from your response, your lack of a response.
I don't think so, but for some reason it sounds familiar. So.
It was a television show that was just recently canceled last season.
No, I don't think so.
It starred the blonde from The Girl Next Door. The movie? Okay. Anyway.
I'm so sorry.
Happy Endings. David Casper is the writer behind the show, and it stars one of the girls from Happy Endings, the brunette that was just quirky and fun. And what it is about is it follows a couple while they're getting ready to tie the knot. There's just one problem. They can't get the marriage proposal right. It's a sign that they aren't supposed to be together, right? Or do they need to just stop screwing up their overly investive attempts to get engaged? So they can't get engaged properly. And I don't understand that, but I want to see how this train wreck works out.
Is that based on the book? Because it really sounds like a book I've read.
What's the book called?
I don't remember, but it's like this deja vu thing going on that it seems like...
I don't know.
It sounds interesting.
And it premieres Tuesday, October 14th, which is next Tuesday on NBC again.
And I'll have the app because you told me how to do that.
Marry Me. Mm-hmm. And Manhattan Love Story is on ABC, and it started last week as well on Tuesday. And I don't know that this one's going to last, but I loved it.
What's it about?
It is, it's a comedy that uses the power of voiceover to broadcast the internal monologues of a New York City dude played by Jake McDorman and a Midwestern transplant chick played by Annalee Tipton. And looking at them, I don't recognize either one of them.
So that gives a more happy, fun idea around, what was that other one? The Affair? Mm-hmm. You know, the different male-female perspectives.
Yes.
Something I love.
And did you watch Sweet Home Alabama, the movie?
Yes.
Okay. You know how
I
she
love
was like
Reese
the transplant?
Witherspoon, so I have seen...
I love her too.
Uh-huh.
Steve says I must be in love with foreheads. I was like, what? You're an ass. But anyway, this is kind of like that, except for this girl is freshly transplanted to New York City from Midwest town. And I've only seen one episode. I think it's adorable. It's called Manhattan Love Story. It's on ABC on Tuesdays.
I'm going to check it out.
Now, this next one, it's called Selfie, and it made me think about what am I doing with my life and this social media thing. So Karen Gillian, who is from Doctor Who, drops her adorable Scottish accent to star in this modern spin on Pygmalion. Come on, smart Carrie.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Wow.
I know the idea, but I do not know how to pronounce it. And I will have to watch this because I am the biggest Doctor Who fan, and she was my favorite.
She is adorable.
Companion.
She is adorable.
Yes.
And it takes place in today's social media-driven world. She plays Eliza Dooley, and she is obsessed with becoming internet famous, but her constant Instagramming and Facebooking has left her devoid of any real friends, not to mention the social skills required to make any. Desperate for a fix, she hires marketer Henry Higglebottom, played by John Chu, to help her rebuild her image and put down her darn phone for once.
So you saw the premiere.
Yes, the pilot, yes.
Why does she want to be internet famous? I mean, what's her motive?
There's no reason except for there's
just
those
narcissism?
people. Yes, narcissism. That is it. So, like, when she talks, she's like, hashtag call me, hashtag, and she, like, talks in hashtags.
Is she still likable, though? Because I don't want to ruin the Amy, you know, she was my favorite Doctor Who companion.
I didn't watch Doctor Who, but she does play just... People I know are like this. Okay. I don't know if you know anyone like this.
I know Facebook people that are like this that probably I will never meet and have because they don't have the social skills to leave their house to meet me.
Right. But this girl is beautiful, and she was kind of a dork in high school. Mm-hmm. Actually, a really big dork. Mm. So she like followed what the popular girls did, and she carried that into her adult life and then carried it onto social media.
So she's seeking validation. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So we'll see how this show goes. And